Laker fans, what's going on? My name is Sammy Long. This is another Laker preview video. Doing one for every game this season, getting everybody ready for the upcoming Laker matchup. You guys know the drill by this point. Lakers, big W the other night. So we're going to talk about that. Talk about interesting thing I thought about a possible playoff format change, which could affect the Lakers and just the Western Conference in general. Then we're going to be looking at the Kings. Part four. It's the fourth game of the series. Lakers going for the sweep. The Kings got them in 4 games last year, swept them all last year, have really tortured the Lakers over the years. And the Lakers really got a good opportunity to kind of do it back to them with a big win today. So I'm going to look at them later. But first, big Christmas Day win. That was huge. That was a huge response, I think, from the Lakers. Coming off a good stretch, you beat Memphis, you beat Sacramento twice last week. And then you lose to a scrappy Detroit team. It really felt like the Lakers should have won that game. Watching that game, they were just rushing ball screens, really kind of being more physical, taking it to the Lakers. And then the Lakers came back in the final couple minutes and lost by 3 points. But that really felt like one that the Lakers let slip away. And you don't want to let that snowball because the Lakers have had these things happen multiple times this year where the Magic game was one that you really felt like the Lakers had and absolutely blew the game. Lakers went on a little bit of a losing streak after that, losing to Denver, losing to Phoenix, a couple teams like that. So it's nice to see on the road, Golden State get a big W on Christmas Day. Everyone's watching. Reaves, game winner, huge. He said that play wasn't even meant for him. It was actually meant for LeBron, but he saw it and took it. So it was awesome. And LeBron, 31 points. 80 goes out, early in that game, 7 minutes in, 0 points. Rui, 18, Reaves, 26, was really the MVP of the night. Max Christie, I think, has really been taking a big step forward recently. 16 points. He had 19 a few nights ago, kind of hanging in those teens. 14 points. Loving like that. That's what you want out of Max Christie because I think what he's done as a defender, he's gotten a lot better as a defender so far. He's put on a little muscle this year. I think in years past he was just so skinny and kind of bony that he just couldn't defend. And now it looks like he's really gotten in the weight room and put on some muscle. And we all know that Max Christie at Michigan State was a really good 3-point shooter. And if he can develop into a scorer, I'm liking that the Lakers gave him this contract, 4 years, $32 million early on in the offseason. I feel like if Max keeps developing, we could be looking back in a year or two going, that's actually kind of a steal of a contract. Where at the beginning of the year, people were kind of wondering where he was at. Cam Reddish, 4 points. Koloko, 2. Vincent, 5. Connect seems to find his stroke back a little bit with 13. Had a nice game against the Pistons, even though the Lakers did lose. So kind of finding his form again, and it'll be exciting once D'Lo comes back to hopefully add another scorer back to the mix. So huge win. Always a tough game. I know the Warriors are kind of flailing right now, but still in their environment, Steph, LeBron, Christmas Day, primetime game. I think it had like 8 million viewers to 9, somewhere around there. It's a big game. Everyone's going to get up for that game. And to not lay down when AD gets hurt, that's kind of felt like a turning point in like, oh no, here we go. AD's hurt. Team could roll over in Golden State, tough environment. And the Warriors tied it there in the third quarter. And the Lakers were kind of holding a steady lead throughout, up 3 at halftime. Held a little bit of a steady lead, and then it went away, and it felt like, oh, this is kind of where the Warriors could take over. But the Lakers really bit down, and they made some big shots in the game. Even the Warriors when it felt like with a few minutes to go, the Lakers went up like 11, 10, 11, and or 8, kind of hanging around there. Then Curry hit that crazy shot. They hit a couple big offensive rebounds, and the Lakers still fought. They cut it down to 2, and they still fought and won the game. So I think that was a huge game. Just for morale, the Lakers really got one of those, and I think you're seeing the Lakers winning in clutch time, and the Warriors had some crazy stat like they haven't won a game in clutch time this year, or they have a horrible record in clutch time. And a testament to the Lakers, I guess. But excited, huge win. Also good for the standings. The Golden State was right behind the Lakers. The Lakers are currently sitting at 5 in the West, which is huge. The Lakers have been all over the place. Lakers have been up to 2 in the West, or 1, 2. All the way down to like 11, and then now back up to 5. Everything's really clustered right now, but still, Lakers playing some good basketball in the right direction. Speaking of seeding, I want to talk about this 1-16 playoff format. So ESPN had an interesting article, I felt, reported that several teams, Tim Bontemps of ESPN reported that several teams are, quote, pushing for the league to move away from conference-based seeding and instead embrace a 1-16 playoff format. Such a revision will require half of the East to vote in favor, with many middling teams voting against their best interests. No one we spoke with expects that to change. This kind of started, shifted a bit since the historically slow start for East teams in non-conference matchups. There are 10 teams over 500 in the Western Conference compared to 6 in the East. So I did some looking at the standings. So the Lakers would still be 5th in the East, so it wouldn't change too much for them. The East is very made up of Cleveland 1, Boston 2, New York 3, Orlando 4. That's kind of the upper echelon of the teams. Philly looked nice on Christmas Day. They obviously haven't been healthy at all, with Joel Embiid missing a big chunk of time. Maxey been balling out a year, but Paul George has been hurt as well. So they finally got their guys back. They could be a threat there in the East at the bottom of the bracket. But besides that, I mean, it's very, very low. Like the Bulls sit in the 10th spot in the play-in with a losing record of 13-18. The Sacramento Kings, who the only team to be playing tonight, are the 12th seed, and they're 13-18. I mean, they would be knocking so many teams out of the East. In the East, the top of the East benefits from this. They get to play a lot of the bad teams in the Eastern Conference and kind of really bump their resumes. So people in the West obviously are complaining that, like, Phoenix is 15-15, and they're currently even out of the play-in picture right now. In the Eastern Conference, they would be just fine. They'd be sitting right there in the play-in picture, looking forward. So, a lot more of the young stars are in the West. Just in general, Oklahoma City so young. Dallas, Luka, who's hurt for a little while, but Kyrie, Houston's really been on the uptick. John Morant. But it is interesting if that were to happen. I'm sure everyone in the West would love it. The West would love to be a 1-16 because it would just offer up more spots. I think you'd see a much heavier influx of Western Conference teams and Eastern Conference teams. I'm sure the East aren't going to like it. The Bulls really haven't been relevant since the Derrick Rose years, and they're in the play-in a lot of years. They don't really do anything, but they've been in the play-in because it doesn't take that much work to get in the play-in in the Eastern Conference. I mean, Detroit losing record, 9 seed, Chicago losing record, 10 seed, Indiana losing record, 8 seed. So like there are a lot of problems there, and that's how it is. In the NFL, it's AFC, NFC, things like that, which is fine. That's how it is. I don't know if this will be expected to change, but I do think it would be good for the NBA to have, like, example, I think it's bad for the NBA if San Antonio at the 10 seed right now gets knocked out of the playoffs this is strictly for ratings purposes. In the Eastern Conference, there's Indiana or Brooklyn finds a way in, and that's not, they're not really doing anything. I think it just offer more stuff up for the Lakers. And hey, maybe this doesn't change. I just thought it was interesting that there's a lot of pressure because people have talked about this for years. They've talked about the fact that it really is BS that the Lakers, the Lakers have had winning records these years, and they're fighting and scratching at the end of the season to even get in to the play-in. And the Eastern Conference would be a much smoother sailing. It would be, probably be resting guys at the end of the year. And the East gets to do that a lot. So it's interesting that this is kind of coming to a boiling point. It's been like that for many years, but now it feels like teams are kind of finally fed up with the kind of, frankly, lack of talent in the bottom of the bracket in the East. In the West, just so loaded. I mean, the Sacramento Kings are the 12th seed, 13-18, and they're one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. And so, like, it's pretty crazy that you have some of these teams that are just out of it, but that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be until something changes. So Lakers got to deal with it, but I thought that was something interesting to talk about. But now going on to the Kings. This is part 4. Lakers going for the sweep. As I mentioned earlier, Kings did it to the Lakers last year, so it would be love to get some get back. This team's in flailing right now. So they just fired Mike Brown yesterday. Don't understand that. Mike Brown was coach of the year a couple years ago, and really felt like he kind of installed Sacramento as being a relevant piece again. I know they haven't had a great record this year, but still, I think that could be more on the front office, bringing in DeMar DeRozan. Don't know if that was the greatest fit along with them. I get they were trying to add a third star to Fox and Sabonis. I honestly think like a guy like, not that he was available, but he's probably available now, even though Pat Riley's denying it. Jimmy Butler would have been a much better fit with Sacramento because he defensively, just, I don't know. You keep adding offense to this team. There's not a lot of defenders on this team. I think that's the Kings' problem. They've lost a lot of close games. A couple of the Lakers, they lost 1 point to the Nuggets, 130-129 in that game. So they really just don't play a lot of defense. And it's hard to win like that night in, night out. Their last game, so they're on a 5-game losing streak. The Lakers gave them 2 losses of that. Last game was a loss to the Pistons at home, 114-113. Pistons playing good ball. Beat the Lakers, scrappy team. Then went into Sacramento, beat them. They really feel like a team rising in the Eastern Conference, going to be better. So, and then De'Aaron Fox, per ESPN, is linked to the Rockets, Spurs, Lakers, and Heat. De'Aaron Fox would be unbelievable. I would love to have De'Aaron Fox as a Laker. I don't think the Kings would be trading him to the Lakers. I just don't see that as a Kings-Laker rivalry. I doubt, unless the Lakers have some package that can't miss. And at that point, why are you doing it? Why are you getting rid of Reaves and Connect and all these guys, Gabe Vincent, every single one of them, and draft picks just to get De'Aaron Fox? I don't know that necessarily makes you all that better, even though De'Aaron Fox is unbelievable. If there was a deal more centered around picks, but De'Aaron Fox he's gonna have the whole team's gonna be calling about De'Aaron Fox. So you're getting an elite young point guard who can score. So the Lakers would have to give up a lot. I don't know if that's necessarily in the Lakers' best interest, even though it would be great. And I don't know if the Kings would trade him to the Lakers. I think that's a situation where, again, the Lakers have to have a package that's so much better than everyone else's. I don't know that that's really, really feasible. But I'm talking about this game specifically tonight. Jackson Hayes upgraded to questionable with that right ankle sprain. He's been out for a while, so he might be back in action tonight, which would be huge for the Lakers, add some center depth. AD is questionable with that left ankle sprain. We'll know by game time on him. Rui and LeBron are both questionable. They're sick, illness. So hopefully that means they're going. I'd assume it means they're playing. But I don't know how sick they are. Shafino, Vanderbilt, and Wood are both all out. And then only on their side, Domantas Sabonis is questionable with an illness. He missed last game against the Pistons in that 1-point loss. We've seen this team a lot. So the Lakers are very familiar. I'm sure the Kings are going to want to get a little get back. But as we know, they don't really go deep in their rotation. So if they don't have Sabonis tonight, that's a big deal for them. Alex Lim was the guy who stepped up in kind of a reserve role. He started, but in Sabonis' place on the last game against the Pistons. Same lineup: DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Sabonis if he plays, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk. And then it's really Trey Lyles had 20 points the other night, and Kevin Huerter and Keon Ellis. Those are kind of the guys that play. Keon Ellis for defense. Kevin Huerter's been struggling a little bit since he came back from injury. Hasn't really been the same Kevin Huerter that we've seen over the last few years, really over his career. That has really given the Lakers problems at times. But those guys, usually they go 8-man rotation. Colby Jones and Isaac Jones get some time at times. But we'll talk to us there. But they get a few minutes here and there, but not really a big part of the rotation. Again, expect Alex Len to be playing tonight if Sabonis can't go. So hopefully Jackson Hayes can go. Hopefully Anthony Davis can go. If AD can't, again, really hope Jackson Hayes can go so we can eat up some fouls. So the Lakers do have a big in Sabonis, and whoever's playing down there can't just do whatever they want. But Lakers looking for the sweep. They are currently favored by 1.5 in Vegas right now. That came down from 2.5. Lakers open as 2.5-point favorites. It's been bet down a little bit, but I expect a good game tonight. Really excited for it in Los Angeles. Let's get this win streak going. The Pistons was just a little blip on the road. So Lakers playing really good basketball right now. Love what I've been seeing, and hopefully Lakers can turn this in and keep getting up those standings in the Western Conference. So thank you guys. Appreciate you for tuning in. Alan will get you guys on the post game show, and go Lakers.